Howdy y'all. Today's definitely a cleanup day. I got a couple of parts I'll show you real quick before we get into it. Got new nuts for the ends of the axle shafts. We got new seals to go on those axle shafts. These are the keepers for the piston wrist pins. And O-ring for this thermostat. I still have some parts that are at Caterpillar on their way back in. This was a 5H9740 thermostat. Those seals are a 1D4324. And I got these nuts for the axles. They are a OL2341. And they came rather fast. This O-ring for the thermostat is a 4F7390. And sorry about these, but I think I bought the last ones that Cat had. Period. Dad's been out here cleaning like crazy, getting things ready, and we're having a debate about how we're going to move this out, or if we're going to move this out, and power wash all that dirt and debris and gunk out of here. And a lot of you might have seen the short that I made about watering your tractors. I was flushing out mud, muck, and dirt that was in here. This was full of ice up into the top of that casting right there. So I really need to get it outside and blow the rest of this stuff out because, well, it's pretty gross and it's a lot of work. And I think that would shorten things. The plan is, if we do that, to get it back inside, coat everything with some diesel or oil so it won't flash rust. Over here on the bench, I just wanted to show you the main clutch linkage that Dad's been working on cleaning up. This bronze bushing's really in very good shape. A lot of components of this tractor, you could tell, were relatively new and had just recently been replaced. But he was able to, with a pick, clean out these oil grooves. He's going to wash it down with some solvent, give it a final rinse, and you can just see how much gunk came out of those grooves. He also took these apart. There's a little bit of wear, but nothing that's substantial that we're going to worry about too much. Back over on the axle shaft, and these are the nuts that I bought that are brand new, same part number. They're an aftermarket brand, but they're very high quality. And we went back and reviewed the footage, and when we took the nut off of this side, we used that big 1-inch air impact wrench, and Dad recalled it, and I reviewed it. It went hard the whole way. So I'm not necessarily sure that what I did with the torch damaged the threads. I think they might have already been stretched and damaged. But we're going to clean them up, see if this new nut is going to work on there. I noticed that the nuts that I bought that were just standard nuts screwed right on. But, yeah, this one's the same way. It hits that spot right there, and although it's going, it's not going any further than there. It starts, though, which is more than I can say for this tap. I'm not sure why this tap won't start, or maybe it's that far out of shape. Well, I got the tap started on here, and it's down to a point I think I'm going to need a little bit more to push it around here, but I can, if I'm careful, I can kind of slowly move it back and forth by hand and work it around.
Some oil.
I do. I got some cut and thread oil. Some Tap Magic. And it's actually going pretty easy if I can hold the ring gear. Yeah, that's cleaning them up. Got the new nut and got new threads. Those chased, they had some hard spots, but not terrible. I think we're going to be in good shape. The other side's fine. I can screw the nut on all the way by hand. Oh yeah, this is going to be, look at this.
Yeah.
We're good now.
For whatever reason.
It came off hard, so I don't know.
Yeah, it did.
If it had been stretched before or something, but they're cleaned up. They're good to go. No, this is not another round of vehicle Tetris. We're going to come in here with the backhoe and test out our rigging and test pick this and see how well it's going to work. Because we'd like to get this carried outside and I can wash the rest of it off. Is it picking it all?
It's not that good.
Test pick was somewhat successful. I think we can get it out of here now. And notice that the bar that we had underneath the front kept the two track frames from pulling into each other. So that's good. I'm not sure why this side over here is up slightly higher. Quite a few washers and stuff under here that a shackle. I was looking for that. Oh, I know why. That block's underneath the sprocket back here. What we noticed here is that bar was down there in the bottom, which was good because it kept those track frames from pulling together. The problem is that when this weight from this bell housing came down, it kind of pulled the tracks inward and off the roller on the other side. Not a big deal. I think we're just going to put another strap around that bracket for the roller and around the other one over on the other side and just kind of shore it up. But we're going to kind of re-rig it and re-pick it. Had to run to town for an appointment yesterday, and when I got back, these had arrived in the mail. These are the copper gaskets for the plugs on the transmission and the brake compartments. It's a OL1124, and they are available from the CTP, and they look just like the OEM ones. Yesterday I went inside. I had to get ready to go to an appointment, and I got to thinking about something and why that these tracks had pulled in. I had the strap around each side and around the bottom of this bell housing. But what happened when we picked this machine off the drawbar, it created a bit of a fulcrum on the pivot shaft, and it wanted to put down all the pressure, or not all of it, but a good majority of it on the front of this bell housing, and that's why that pulled. So, while I was gone, Dad rigged it up across these roller retaining arms here. I'm not sure what you would call that exact term. And we're going to rig this so that we could pick it a little bit differently and get it outside and get it cleaned up. Might be growing some flaxseed out there in the dirt. Before we get this outside, we're going to pull these bolts off and pull this shifter rail up and out of here. That way we can clean it better. We can clean the inside of the gearbox better, and we can inspect the gears to see if there's any damage. We're going to dump some diesel in these final drives in here. They were both empty. This one has some thick grease in it. That one was empty as well. And hopefully that'll start sloshing around while we're moving the tractor. We're debating right now whether we're going to pull these apart and put new seals in the final drives. They've obviously been leaking, and the fact that there's no oil in there is not a good sign. But that's the problem with exploratory surgery on these old tractors. Both sides are full of diesel, and we're sitting relatively level, so should be what we hope will flush that out and kind of move around and wiggle around as we move this around, clean some of that out.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Right out of here.
Yeah, that seal for the final drive's leaking.
Yeah, we're going to have to get into them.
Well, we got to get this cleaned anyway.
Yeah.
Give me that flashlight, please. Yeah, you can see it running right out of there.
Yeah. I'm surprised this one isn't. It's probably so loaded up with dirt.
Dirt and grease, and it's not, yeah. Yep, we're going to have to pull this off and fix that.
I was laying in bed last night thinking we need to get into those.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Should be able to salvage these.
Just surface rust.
The bearing don't sound bad at all. Oh, that one up there's knocking. I got a new one for up there. Nothing broken. Shine your light down here on this back one in the bottom. Yeah, everything looks good.
We're still picking up oil up here.
Yeah. Now, soon to be flushed out, and then we'll put some fresh stuff in there. I've got you guys set up the best I can do. Everything's heavy. This wrench is heavy. Got one. Might need your help to break one of those loose. Pull it.
Okay, it's on it.
Should hold it. Going?
It ain't going anymore. But that's loosening it up. You know what? We might. There it goes. There it goes. A little bit.
I'll go back down. Alright. Got it all now. It's out. Yep. Look at the rust. Colorado rust.
There it goes.
There it is.
Yeah.
Now we're down on the block. How's that? There's the drawbar. They're good. Everything's back in here on blocks, back where it was. I'm going to spray everything with a nice light coating of diesel fuel so we don't get any flash rusting. And it'll be something I can wipe with later. Help clean it out. This gearbox was a lot dirtier than I thought it was going to be. In fact, it was absolutely filthy in there. Spent several evolutions with degreaser and solvents and hot sea and flushing. Still didn't get much of it out. Well, I didn't get all of it out, but I did pretty good. I was able to scrounge up enough diesel you can get these gears a good bath. And give it a good inspection with that shifter off, the shifter rails off of here. And I am not seeing anything that's concerning at all. And even when we drained it, it was full of, gosh, some of the heaviest grease I've ever seen, and just dirt and filthy. But there's not any abnormal wear on any of the gears, and no missing teeth, no funny noises. I don't see anything in here that I'm super concerned about. I'll get that new seal and bearing in here and finish flushing this out and start going back together.
So a little bit of mechanical progress, but a lot of cleaning progress on the Cat D4 today.
Got this cleaned up. Got that cleaned up. I got some diesel in there, and I can see it's working and cleaning off the inside of the transmission. Everything's coated with diesel. Got these flushed out, and what a mess that was. It was up to the top of this housing here and completely frozen and ice out here in the shop. But that's a big step, just getting this out, getting it cleaned off, getting a majority of just the gunk and dirt off of here. We are going to have to get into these final drives. The bellow seal looks like on the inside on both sides is leaking, so I'm afraid we're going to have to pull these sprockets off, which I am not by any means looking forward to, but we'll see how that goes. Got the radiator flushed out Have a little bit of dirt still stuck in the bottom, but now it's soaking, got some water in it. Flushed out the inside too. A lot of gunk and debris came out of there. Good progress on this, on the transmission cover. Getting it cleaned up. Got some diesel on it so it won't flash rust. And we'll work on that here in the future. The 420D Cat backhoe worked amazing to pick up this carcass from the D4 and get it out to where I could power wash it.
I do want to thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments down below, and we'll see you on the next one.